Okay, welcome to another edition of Le Da Vinci Code. Code is anonymous. So, what's going to happen in this edition of Le Da Vinci Code is we're going to attack this freeCodeCamp challenge based on React. And the README, right now I'm in the description portion of the README to this programmatic challenge, which you can actually go through on the web in a browser. You just have to go to freecodecamp.org and you'll be able to do this challenge directly from the website. I'm taking the approach of having downloaded the repository on my local machine, and I'm now doing the programmatic challenges from the repository, and I enjoy it that way. The learning experience is highly immersive, a lot more than just doing it on the interface, I feel. And the education is a higher degree, so that's why I'm doing this now. That's why we're doing this now together. So if you all stay committed, we're gonna go through this challenge together. It's gonna be rough seas because I haven't been so acquainted with React as of late, but at a certain point, I did have a decent grasp on React. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna read the description, and then we'll go from there. React is an open source Vue library created and maintained by Facebook. It's a great tool to render the user interface (UI) of modern web applications. React uses a syntax extension of JavaScript called JSX that allows me to write HTML directly within JavaScript. This has several benefits. It lets me use the full programmatic power of JavaScript within HTML and helps to keep my code readable. For the most part, JSX is similar to the HTML that I have already learned. However, there are a few key differences that will be covered throughout these challenges. For instance, because JSX is a syntactic extension of JavaScript, I can actually write JavaScript directly within JSX. To do this, I simply include the code I want to be treated as JavaScript within curly braces. We have an example right here. Okay. Let's read that line again. For instance, because JSX is a syntactic extension of JavaScript, I can actually write JavaScript directly within JSX. To do this, I simply include the code I want to be treated as JavaScript within curly braces, within our JSX. Keep this in mind, since it's used in several future challenges, okay? We're going to be writing JavaScript within JSX, all right? So line 17, and there is a prettier version of this README that I'm reading right now, but again, this is the preferred view for myself. All right. So, however, because JSX is not valid JavaScript, JSX code must be compiled into JavaScript after all. The transpiler Babel is a popular tool for this process. For my convenience, it's already added behind the scenes for these challenges. If I happen to write syntactically invalid JSX, I will see the first test in these challenges fail, okay? It's worth noting that under the hood, the challenges are calling React DOM.render, JSX, document get element by ID, root. That's what's actually being called. It's worth noting that under the hood, the challenges are calling this. Under the hood, the challenges are calling. Okay, so I assume that's how the challenges are rendering what's being rendered when we enter the solution logic, especially from the browser. In fact, I could show you guys, I could show you all what I'm referring to when I say the browser. So let me pull freeCodeCamp into our view. This is the website. This is freecodecamp.org. This is the platform that got me started in programming, and I now work in a career as a digital consultant within the company, a digital consultant with a primary capability of engineering, um, uh, primary skill, back end. So this is where it all started for me. Front end, uh, web, web development. Let's get it. All right. So this is the challenge that I'm doing right now from VS Code, from the freeCodeCamp repository. The freeCodeCamp repository. Let's see if I go to github.com, do a / free. Yep. All right. So when I say repository, this is what I'm referring to. So there may be some of you that are watching this and you're very familiar, but I'm sure there may be some of you who are watching this that are very new to all of this. So bear with me, you seasoned veterans, bear with me. Okay, so this function call is what places my JSX into React's own lightweight representation of the DOM. The DOM is the document object model. The document object model. The document is the website itself. This is a document that's being rendered. A document. It's a cunning thing, and it's becoming even more cunning. The whole development, application development, and all that it entails. It's pretty cool. So we see what's going on. All right, so the document object model. React then uses snapshots of its own DOM to optimize, updating only specific parts of the actual DOM. Okay. React then uses snapshots of its own DOM to optimize, updating only specific parts of the actual DOM. Okay, we have instructions, folks. Let's pay attention. The current code uses JSX to assign a div element to the constant JSX. Replace the div element with an h1 element and add the text hello JSX inside of it, inside of our h1 element, which is what replaced our division element. And the division element that we replaced was originally, the current code uses JSX to assign a division element to the constant. To assign a div element to the constant. Okay, perhaps our JSX variable was set to a value of div. This is the syntax of JSX. Okay, so all right, we've heard the instructions, we've read the instructions. Pause if you need to. Hints. Okay, the constant, I assume correctly, JSX should return an h1 element. Okay, it should be set to an h1 element. My interpretation. Okay. This code right here, this is like chai, I believe. This is like a unit testing code syntax right here. But so as we see, we have another assert method. We have some parameters. Okay, we have seed. Okay, after a user code. Okay. Okay, so what's my first step? This is the part that I was saying about the experience being more immersive when you attack the programmatic challenges from your local machine. Now I have to figure out how to set up the challenge. Okay, so there were no instructions. Oh, was there initial instructions? No, there wasn't. Okay. Okay, so I remember a strategy. This is a tricky process, everyone. All right. I remember I had a strategy. Okay, from where I'm located currently, um, I am located. Okay, yeah, inside the freeCodeCamp folder. Okay, from where I am currently, what I'm gonna do is, okay, I'm in here. All right, I'm gonna create a black box. I'm gonna go from the terminal. I'm gonna create a new. I'm gonna create a new directory. No, I don't want to create my directory in here. Okay, so oh yeah, this is where I want to create my directory. Why not? I'm gonna create a directory, mkdir, make directory. And I'm gonna name the folder. I'm gonna name it DVC, DaVinci Code. Okay. Oh, not found. I don't think I did it correctly. Oh yeah, I didn't. mkdir, make directory. Make dir DVC. Okay, directory created. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna travel into that directory. I'm in the directory now. Alright, so I'm gonna create a new file. Touch command within the terminal. I'm using a Mac OS. So touch. I'm gonna create this DaVinci Code. Alright, what's a cool name? I like to have fun with names, you know? It's part of the process, you gotta enjoy it. So touch, this is challenge 1. I'm gonna go challenge 1. What kind of file do I wanna make this? Challenge 1 dot. You know what, I'm not gonna make the file type yet. Okay, I think I did it. So okay, so I'm gonna hit Command O on a Mac. DVC, my directory. Alright, let's open this file. Change 1, the one I just made. Okay, so let's split that off to the right. Okay, so we have our seed here, our seed content. I'm gonna create a JavaScript file. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, this is a tricky situation. All right, listen, people, do not judge me too harshly. I'm currently consulting as a digital consultant with the primary skill of engineering, but I'm working as a digital consultant, currently consulting as a business analyst for the past 3 months. So things have slipped, especially React. I haven't touched React since 2020, I believe. So, all right. So I'm within my folder. All right. What I want to do is this. I want to rename the file challenge 1 rather. So let's go rm. No, that's remove. Shit. How do I rename the file? Okay, I'm just gonna create a new file. Touch. Challenge 0.js. Excellent. I'm gonna open that new JavaScript file now, and I'm gonna get busy. All right. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enter the seed content. So seed JSX after user code. JSX. Okay, yeah, perfect. I don't enter that at the top. I enter this at the top. I'm going to declare my variable to start things off. So const, all caps, JSX. I probably don't have to make it all caps, but you know, I want to set a good example. Div. Okay. Now, okay, so we know what the challenge wants us to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create it in the way the challenge instructs us to. So we have instructions. Line 23. The current code uses JSX to assign a div element. That's what's happening here on line 1. And a div element is being assigned to our JSX variable. The current code uses JSX to assign a division element to the constant JSX. This is a constant variable type. Replace the div with an h1. Okay, so instead of making a div element, I'm going to make an h1 element. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to say ça va JSX. Okay, let's save that because I love to save and I love to push and I love clever commit messages. Let's get it. All right, so the constant JSX should return an h1 element. Okay. Okay, what's next? What's next on the docket, coach? Okay, so we have line 1 transcribed. Solutions. Okay. All right, so here's the thing. So right now, I've solved the challenge. Mission complete. Bada bing, bada boom. We've won the day. Yeah, I was anticipating me having to render things and things being visible on the UI. That wasn't the case. It was just as simple as that. When it came to completing the challenge locally on your machine via the freeCodeCamp repository as opposed to the freeCodeCamp client right here. Because the way it would look on the client is like this, nice and pretty, nice and neat, nice and tucked away. So instead of a div element, I'm going to repeat what I entered in the terminal, and I'm going to put an h1 element. I don't think it should matter that it's a capital H, and I'm going to type hello JSX. Let's see if JSX and I have a rapport. Whew, it doesn't look like we do. The current code uses JSX to assign div. Constant JSX. Replace the div with an h1 element and add the text hello JSX. Okay, I forgot the exclamation mark, everyone. Let's see if I'm correct. Oh, get out of here. C'est pas possible. C'est pas possible. Hello JSX. Hello JSX. Okay, everyone, Mayday. I'm not sure what's happening right now. Okay, perhaps I'm missing some JSX syntax. I think what I need to enter a, yep. Let's see if I get it right now. I did not get it right. Something is missing here. Curly braces, perhaps? No. Okay. Okay, so let's change our capital H's to lowercase h's, and let's see if that makes a difference. If that's what makes a difference, I'm gonna be a little bit disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. Let's do our hackathon behavior. Okay, keep it simple, Danny. Keep it simple. All right. If this is what makes the difference. Oh, it's what made the difference, everyone. The fact that the H was capitalized. I find that ridiculous. But freeCodeCamp is an excellent platform. We have liftoff, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and solve the second challenge and see, from the terminal, of course. So it's going to be an extended process, but you know, I'm that type. So what's the next lesson, folks? The next lesson is I'm going to create a complex JSX element. Oh God, that sounds complex. Okay, so I'm within my DBC folder. Let's take a look at the files within here. All right, so I want to delete the initial file. I'm going to go rm and I'm going to go chlng1. All right, deleted. Okay, so I'm within my folder. I'm going to back out. All right. All right, create a complex JSX element. All right, this is the element this is the challenge we just completed, the highlighted one. Now I'm going to create a complex. Okay, boom, right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the README file. I'm going to type open from a Mac terminal within VS Code. I'm going to type open and I'm going to go create a complex JSX element. All right, we have our README file open on the right hand side. Going to close the old one that was on the left. What is on the left is the file we just solved, got corroborated by the UI. We entered the passing logic, so we saw it there as well. Okay, so let's dive in, folks. So the last challenge was a simple example of JSX, but JSX can represent more complex HTML as well. One important thing to know about nested JSX is that it must return a single element. This one parent element would wrap all of the other levels of nested elements. For instance, several JSX elements written as siblings with no parent wrapper element will not transpile. For instance, several JSX elements written as siblings with no parent wrapper element will not transpile. Here's an example. Okay, so we have what is JSX code. So if we just have a div element and then we have children paragraph elements, that will not transpile in the way that JSX is meant to transpile as JavaScript. So, yep, it's invalid JSX. Because what did we just read, everyone? For instance, several JSX elements written as siblings with no parent wrapper element will not transpile. So this is a clear example of JSX that will not transpile. All right, so let's follow the instructions. Define a new constant variable JSX that renders a division element which contains the following elements in order. Okay, so we're going to have a parent div that has a child of h1, another child of a paragraph element, and an unordered list that contains 3 list items, li. Okay, so we're going to have 3 children, an h1, a paragraph, and a ul element. Those will be the children to our parental div element. You can include any text you want within each element, all right? All right, that means I could talk as crazy as I want to talk, okay? So note, when rendering multiple elements like this, you can wrap them all in parentheses, but it's not strictly required. When rendering multiple elements like this, I can wrap them all in parentheses. but it's not strictly required. Also notice this challenge uses a div tag to wrap all the child elements within a single parent element. Okay, so when we declare our JSX element, we're going to set it to a div element that will have a child of a div, and that secondary div will have a child of an H1, another child of a paragraph, another child of an unordered list. If you all remember the instructions, so rewind if need be. Okay, when rendering multiple elements like this, I can wrap them all in parentheses, but it's not strictly required. Also notice this challenge uses a div tag to wrap all the child elements within a single parent element. If I remove the div, the JSX will no longer transpile. So that parental div element seems to be primordial in this process, above the parentheses. All right. Keep this in mind, since it will also apply when I return JSX elements in React components. When I return JSX elements in React components. Okay, so they're going to give us a hint on line 49. The JSX should return a division element. Okay, all right. I'm going to skip the hint. Okay. Oh, this is quite a hint right here. They just told us the answer. All right. Seed after user code JSX. Okay. So at the end. Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't think it's gonna work because I didn't create a React application. I just input that. Yeah, this followed a hunch, but I didn't create a React application, so I don't think anything's gonna actually render because yeah, there's no way. I don't think. Okay, so let's get back to business over here on the right hand side of the screen. Okay, so seed content. Okay, they give us the answer, honestly. They give us the answer. Oh, wow, okay, I see. Okay, so maybe I could solve it right in here. I don't even have to go to my let me I'm gonna create a new file within my cdd. I'm gonna create a new file, challenge 1.js. Gonna open that file. Okay, so let's read the instruction once more and define a new JSX constant that renders a division element which contains the following elements in order: an H1, a P, and a UL with 3 list items. I can include any text I want. Okay, simple enough. I'm gonna do that right now. So we have a const element. We have JSX equal to Okay, then we're gonna have another div element. Okay, our div element is gonna have 3 elements. It's gonna have a H1 element. Alright, so now we're gonna create our p tag. Okay, we're gonna go
Your programming timer is done.
Somebody fact check me as to whether or not that's spelled correctly. Code is anonymous, and then I want to create an unordered list.
Your programming timer is done.
Alexa, add 15 minutes.
15 minutes added.
Unordered list. List item. Okay, let's see if I got some tricks up my sleeve. Let's see if I could copy this. No, I don't. I don't have tricks up my sleeve. Let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to duplicate that. Got it. Option shift. All right. Okay, so I think that's what it wanted us to do. Let's compare it to the solution. The solution's right here. Hello JSX H1. Of course, I was allowed to make it say whatever I wanted it to say. Okay, we got the paragraph element. Okay, I structure mine a bit differently. But white space doesn't make a difference in the code. Although I do believe it does have an effect on runtime. I could be wrong about that. Let me know. Okay, so we have an H1. We have a paragraph element. We have an unordered list. We have 3 list items. 1, 2, 3. 3 secrets. Okay, 3 list items. Okay, there's the only difference is there's UL. Okay, that's not the same thing. Alright, yeah. So theirs is within a parentheses. But I remember the instructions mentioning the parentheses, but in saying that, it's not totally necessary. Props, children. Props. I know props in React is a way you can pass traits to other components or other parts of the application. So yeah, this is a great way to like get familiar again with whatever technology. Hopefully I end up on a front end contract after this business analysis contract is up. Hopefully I end up doing some front end stuff. That'll be fun. Back end will be great too. Algorithmia, I'm all about that as well. So this challenge was solved. I just wrote out some JSX. In the process, it was highly immersive. I had to really think about things, structure things, set things up a certain way. There is a difference in syntax, and that difference is there's a parentheses here and a parentheses there. Whoa. Okay. Yes, that is correct. Scope. There's something called scope for the newbies to programming. There's something called scope of an application. You know, I'm trying to find a good analogy. The scope of my vision is confined to the eyeballs. The scope of my vision. That's the essence of scope. But okay, so as the instructions told us to do, okay, let's just read this note again. It gives us some insight. When rendering multiple elements like this, I can wrap them all in parentheses. So this type of logic, this type of JSX logic being written, can be wrapped in parentheses. But it's not strictly required. It's not strictly required. Also notice this challenge uses a div tag to wrap all the child elements within a single parent element. If I remove the div, the parent div, the JSX will no longer transpile. Keep this in mind since it will also apply when I return JSX elements and React components. Okay, so when it comes to JSX, whenever I guess this is like a standardized way to declare the presence of JSX within your UI. You type your JSX variable in all caps. It's a mode of it's a signal. Yeah, you know. And those exist within the human culture as well. Anywhere you go, you look at a human, you nod your head up, you just nod your head up at them. That's like a sign of, a rapport, goodwill, spirit. Like, hey, what's up? It may just be an American thing. I don't know. Let me know. Okay, so we have syntactically correct JSX here, folks. Yes, I just rendered a JSX element within my React application, of course, which there's a little more involved in getting those up and running. Something like this within the terminal, it would be create, or it would be like npx create React app, or something like that, and then that begins to spin up a React application. Yeah, so I think we've reached the end of this edition of the DaVinci Code. Code is anonymous. Thank you for joining me. Please hit the like button if you did enjoy this experience, and I'll be back with another one. You gotta encourage me somehow. Encourage me to keep going, please. Later.